All right, good afternoon, traders. Today it's November 19th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Hey, let's go take a look at the markets today, see how we made some money and made $1,300 on a 73K account while risking only 10%. All right, so let's take a peek at this. All right, well, before I get started, members e-learning tomorrow, November 20th, 2025, on Thursday, starting at noon, ending at 3 p.m. with Rick Sadler. I'm in the middle, right there, 1 o'clock, all right? That's going to be in the combo room, okay? So if you don't see me in the BYOB room, it's because I'm in the combo room paying attention to the other two presenters, all right? I'll be presenting at 1 p.m. Black Friday sale, and we got a Cyber Monday sale. Okay, so Black Friday lifetime subscription, $39.95, regularly $10K. So nice cut on that one for Black Friday. Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is 12 months. You get 18 months for the price of an annual. So I think that runs out to be about, I think right around $1,200. Okay, so that's the Cyber Monday and a Black Friday. So right there, two big ones. The annual, in which case you get there's no money off, but you do get an extra 6 months. All right, added on, and on the Black Friday, well, that is the lifetime, all right? And I believe with the lifetime, you are invited to all of the workshops, and all of the workshops are available to you, past and present, I believe, to download and to obtain. All right, so that's the Black Friday one. That normally goes for about 10K, so nice sale there. All right, let's take a look at the markets today. All right, and we'll look at it on the 10-minute chart. 10-minute, we have a 10-minute uptrend. Looks like it's going to get squeezed out here at the end of the day. We'll see what happens. Got a 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. A whole lot of consolidation, really. Just a lot of slop. Big ride up. We played this. We traded this morning. Break out over the base right here was an entry buy for a 10-minute uptrend up to the peak, and it lasted till about 10:30, and then from there we started a downtrend back to VWAP. All right, and it went way past VWAP right into you can see right there the uptrend line. All right, and then of course we spiked it, went back on top, came back and spiked it again, and went back up on top. So right now we're just kind of waffling on top of the uptrend line right there. All right, so let's take a look at 2-hour chart. Let's move all of this out of the way, okay? So, and we'll move this down, move this out of the way, and let's pick up another chart, okay? Actually, we'll just pick up this one. 2-hour chart, looking like a 2-hour bearish consolidation, okay? A move down and over to the right. 2-hour bearish consolidation, almost an uptrend. We had an uptrend at the beginning of the day, then it looks like we crossed back under for the remaining 2 hours, 4 hours here, okay, back to the downside. So we had a 2-hour uptrend for a brief moment in time, and then looks like we lost it as price came back down toward the uptrend line. There's the 2-hour chart. On the daily chart, what do we got? Higher low, higher high, closing under a bearish trap, under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, and price is in a downtrend. You can see here on the quadrant lines, right here, we're bullish, but we're in a downtrend. We're showing an M pattern. We're also showing a downtrend with a lower high and a lower low. So we got a downtrend going, and so just bullish, but not acting bullish, okay? You're in bullish territory, but we're not behaving the way we're supposed to be behaving, okay? So there's SPY on the daily chart. Weekly chart, still in an uptrend. Monthly chart, still in an uptrend. Okay, let's go back and look at that 10-minute chart, okay? And I'm going to scoot down to a 5-minute, okay? So you can see this morning what happened, okay, this morning. Okay, so we had, first candle was a red one. And then we had a bullish engulfing with follow through. And right here, right over the top of this overnight or pre-market action, that was buy right there, 10-minute uptrend. So we traded that, and we traded that to the upside, nice rip. And that took us from about 663 clear up to, put the crosshairs on it, up to about 667 right up there. So nice $4 rip. If you'd have traded the morning and then went home after you got your profits, you would have made a lot of money, unless of course you did the downtrend and made money sticking with the downtrend all the way down here into the gap fill again, once again. All right, we revisited the gap fill. So there's SPY on the 5-minute, nice rip. Got to see the bullish engulfing, got to see the price action ripping over VWAP, breaking the rubber band candle right there. That was an entry right there. So let me put the drawing tools up, see if I can get them to work. But there was the entry right there, right over the top of that line, top of that base. And we bought calls and we rode it all the way up to the top up there. So that was a nice rip ride. Again, right here is the, would be the entry right there on that candle right there. Okay. Closes green, ready to go. Okay. So there's SPY on the 5-minute. Nice rip ride this morning. Nice 10-minute downtrend. I didn't trade a lot of it. A lot of it I was kind of buying for a 1, 2, 3. I was expecting a 1, consolidate, 2, and then 3 rip up. And instead, they took me to the woodshed, taking it all the way down here. So constantly having to double down, double down, double down, double down, just to stay alive on that downtrend right through there. So did not expect that steep of a pullback. All right, so here's SPY on the 5-minute chart, and you can see that's how we traded right there. And on the 2-hour, you can see right here. Okay, you got, pretty sure the 3, you can see the yellow 3 is underneath the 8, and everything's underneath VWAP. So we'll see if they can change that. Maybe coming into the close. Take a look at QQQ. Okay, QQQ is probably going to have the same thing happening there. Again, right over the base here on QQQ. There's the pre-market activity. There's your candle to buy. Right there is that candle right there. So, and you can rode that up all the way up to, well, right about here. And then that's it. You could have just gone home and saved yourself a whole lot of heartache from buying the dip. Now, I said I was going to buy the dip, and I bought the dip. But the dip never stopped dipping, because it dipped clear from 605 all the way back to 595. Same thing in SPY. Dipped from 667 clear back to, I don't know, 600. I mean, it was ridiculously low. But anyways, I said I was going to buy the dip. I bought the dip, and I was lucky to get out of there with my skin, all right? Because it was, it just kept falling and falling and falling. Could not catch right through here. Could not catch here. Could not catch there. Finally caught on the uptrend line that I showed you earlier. All right, QQQ, 2-hour chart. Let's take this stuff off. 2-hour chart is a 2-hour, looking like a 2-hour consolidation. Bearish consolidation, okay? So I'll move down and then over to the right. They have a little bit of a bull trap here, but unless they rescue it this morning or this evening, we'll see. You can see clearly it's pinching off right now, so almost doing a bearish cross right there into the close on the 2 hours. So we got NVIDIA earnings after the market. On the daily chart, okay, QQQ, still in a downtrend. Okay, you can see today's candle higher low, higher high, but still in a downtrend because we got a low. We made a lower low, lower high, lower low, showing the bearish head and shoulders pattern or the M pattern, either one. Bearish head and shoulders, lower high, lower low. In a downtrend, let's take this off. Don't need it anymore. Okay, so price action. Up here in quadrant 1, that's bullish, but we're moving in the wrong direction. We keep making lower highs and lower lows, so we're in a downtrend, but up in quadrant 1. Okay, that doesn't work for the bulls, anyways. Okay, so there's QQQ. Weekly and monthly chart, both uptrends still. Okay, you can see uptrend right through there. Nothing's broken yet. We do have a 3-day pullback. Monthly, everything's still working. All right, so far we have a one candle almost trying to eclipse the October month. We'll see what happens with that. All right, so there's QQQ on the monthly. All right, still in an uptrend. You can still see daylight between the 3 and the 8 right there. Let's take a look at IWM. And IWM today on daily chart, higher low, higher high, closing like the others under a bearish trap under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Closing inside quadrant 4 in a downtrend, lower high, lower lows. In a downtrend, bullish, but in a downtrend in quadrant 4. And they may lose it, all right? They still have not turned around. There's IWM. Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow is a lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the uptrend line. Got a low, made a lower low. We're in a downtrend. It's bullish up here in quadrant 4, but you got to be moving up. But clearly in a downtrend currently. So there's Diamond Dow. You can see weekly, still in an uptrend, nothing's broken yet. Monthly, still in an uptrend, nothing's broken yet. Okay, back to the daily. Let's take a look at gold. All right, gold today, higher low, higher high, closing. Okay, inside a bearish trap, but over the 17 EMA, but under the all-time high anchored VWAP. In the middle, it's in an uptrend still. In the middle of quadrant 4, that's bullish. Okay, 1, 2, 3, that's quadrant 4. In the middle of quadrant 4 and still in an uptrend right there on gold. Let's take a look at silver. Silver also in an uptrend. Silver today got a higher low and a higher high. Steep pullback, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Still in an uptrend, but in the middle of quadrant 4, that's bullish. Still in an uptrend. I'll zoom out so you can see it. Okay, here's silver all the way back 2022 and ripping up there in 2025. So bullish, still in an uptrend. Technical, UNG. Right, UNG putting in a nice candle today, trying to maintain the consolidation, which was what we needed, okay, to see. A lot of times they just move up and give it up. UNG back up here to take a second try. Up here at the highs, this is the 2025 high anchored VWAP right there, okay? Making a second stab at it. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17 EMA. Price action, higher lows, higher highs, still in an uptrend, nothing's broken. UNG in an uptrend here on the daily chart, but clearly still in bearish territory. Finally showing some consolidation, able to hold the higher ground. We'll see what happens with that, okay? But looking good so far, holding for more than 2 days, which is, 2 days, give it up. 1 day, give it up. 3 days, give it up. And all the days were red too. 2 days, give it up. You can see clearly it's just it's a change in characteristics after making that all-time low. So there's UNG on the daily chart. Still bearish, but still in an uptrend right there. USO. All right, USO lower high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap and under the 17 and under the downtrend line right through here. Okay, so still neutral. and still in a downtrend. Okay, making lower highs and lower lows, has not made any higher highs yet. So USO still in a downtrend, still neutral, hanging out here at the midpoint line. Again, not in the lower third, not in the upper third, so that's just neutral. Take a look at our technicals, T21.22. Now we did move up today, and we got more market participation. So that was a welcoming sight to see that. So market breadth and participation increased right there on T21.01. Maybe we have a rally coming. We'll see. T21.22. We spent the day. We ripped into the seller's chop zone. Looks like the bears kicked us out. All right. Or the bulls kicked us out. All right. No, the bears kicked us out. And then we spent the day inside the sell zone. Made a brief appearance inside the oversold zone, made a higher low and a higher high. So, but we made the higher high before the higher low, and spent the day closing out inside the sell zone. Okay, so a little bit of changing character in the market here. Looking like there's some urgency to fight off the downtrend. Price action right here, again, a lower low. Let's zoom in on it so you can see it. Okay, so we started this day. We guess what? We gapped down again, and the bulls failed to fill the gap. Right there, just failed. Yep, failed to fill the gap. Another bearish gap down, and the bears dig out another lower low. So another man on base. All right, for the bears. Okay, so still in a downtrend. Under the 200 SMA, that's not my favorite place to be. Okay, we have support here on this green line. I wish they would have just come down and spiked it and then started ripping in the other direction. Maybe we're coming down here tomorrow. We'll find out. So here's T21.23. That's a support line right there. In a downtrend, and from the all-time highs, making a low, making a lower high, making a lower low, making a lower high, and the bears got inspired to make a lower low. All right, so there's T21.23 15-minute chart, still in a downtrend. 3-bar chart. Okay, we got an all-time high. Okay, we have a low, we have a lower high, and then a lower low, and another lower high, and another lower low, and a lower high again, and a lower low. So 3-bar, still in a downtrend, and underneath the 200 SMA. This is the last head and shoulders that we decapitated the head to produce the all-time high. So curious if they're going to bounce here. They're coming in way too slow to bounce. When they come in slow like this, they can often melt right through it. We'll find out. So this is clearly the upper third. This is the lower third. They need to hold the upper third to remain bullish. Otherwise, they become neutral and almost not relevant, but not irrelevant, but just neutral right through here. That's 3-bar chart. FNGU, still under the 200, still under the all-time high anchored VWAP. See this green line? They need to stay above it. The bulls need to come in and repair the holes in the dam. This is the major support. If we start breaking and closing candles down here, what happens is once major support is breached and they start holding this area down here, investors tend to give up hope and begin to selling because they don't want to be the last one when the music stops. So it kind of snowballs into another wave lower. So we'll see what happens. They needed to get back up there today. They did in the morning hour, but then they lost quite a bit of it all the way back to gap fill, and then they climbed back up in the evening hour. So we'll see what happens in the post market. So FNGU goes down 6 on a break for a measured move. I believe it. So he's got one from 32 down to 26, and then another 6 lower, brings us down to 23.22 area. There's FNGU. Unless, of course, the bulls can repair this. We'll see what happens. There's the all-time high, and VWAP. We're underneath that. All right, so that's it for me this evening. How I made money was not an easy day for me. Only because the options are way overpriced. And they're not overpriced. They're actually priced perfectly. It's just that the VIX is high. So there's a lot of, how do I say, it's a lot of premium in them. So it makes it, I'm not used to trading them when they're that pricey. So it's kind of out of my comfort level when they're like that. So I don't really like it. So here's SPY, and we'll pick up, see if we can find something I traded today. All right, 677 on some calls. All right, so on these calls right here. All right, so you can see sold the high. I was holding these. Okay, so I sold these and then reloaded them right here. Okay, so sold them at 2 and then reloaded and made 677. 158 on some other calls. Again, bought the lows of the candle. We had a little uptrend and sold the peaks as price was coming up right there. 600 on some 671 calls. These bought the lows of the candles and sold into strength as price went up. Here you can see clearly I said I was going to buy the dip, and the dip went on for way too long. I was just so happy to get out with a profit at the end of the day. Right there was not. This was easy. This was a struggle. Easy lasted 40 minutes. Struggle lasted hours. Okay. Not fun, super fun. Okay, 675 calls. Again, buying the low, trying to find a place to sell them into strength, and kind of never happened right there. Finally got out by the skin of my teeth right here, and there's no skin on my teeth, so just lucky to get out without losing money right there on those 675 calls. So. Not a big day for me, all right? But not very cooperative either, okay? So at least I didn't game it right, that's for sure. The beginning of the day was perfect. But the rest of the day, I got to tell you, it was a lot of whiplash. I felt like, I was in that movie with J.K. Simmons, with the whiplash thing going on. It's like just a struggle right through there. So we got NVIDIA earnings after the close. We'll take a peek at that real quick and see what they're going to do. And we'll turn on the post-market, see if there's anything going. And they might not report until 4:15 after the market closes all of the index options. So we'll see what happens, but pre-market, post-market, 2 sessions. So really nothing's going on yet. What was hopeful was they jammed it up into the close, so that's kind of hopeful that they're going higher. I don't know how much higher they're going to go, but that was kind of hopeful seeing that at the end of the day. Usually somebody knows a little something, you know what I'm saying? So when you see this happen, somebody usually knows something. When you see this happen, it's usually for good reason because it usually winds up moving higher. So we'll see, all right? Yeah, we got an inverted head and shoulders on that one. All right, that's it for me for today. We'll see what happens when NVIDIA reports here later on, probably in about 5 minutes. maybe 10 minutes. And then, of course, they're going to have to give guidance. And the guidance is going to be awesome as long as people can find the power to run these super graphics cards and these quantum chips. I'm telling you, this is the future right here. This guy right here. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. All right, or maybe in like 15 minutes. We'll see. All right, that's it for me for today. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm going to say this one time, or actually I'm going to repeat it several times. After you make your bones in the morning, really give some serious thought to stopping, grab your money and go home, and go enjoy the rest of the day. All right, do not give it back in the afternoon. I'm just saying, I see a lot of traders do this, and they give it all back in the afternoon. I've coached tens and tens of traders, okay? And eliminating the afternoon, how would I say it? Eliminating afternoons, unless it's a trend day, has been the best thing that they said ever happened to them. All right, so just give it some serious thought. Not to say that you can't practice on paper, but if you're making money, book it, put that account to the side, and go trade paper account, and till you get to the point where you're not losing in the afternoons. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll do it again. Thank you. Tomorrow morning, we got the employment situation. All right, it's the delayed employment situation. So we'll see what happens then. Everybody have a great evening.